Hello. So, my name is Lisa. In case you haven't seen me before, I'm relatively new but not new. I've been doing tarot readings now for about 10 years. And I just figured that I would start going public with it because there's a need and the collective needs answers. So, here we go. I'm going to do a general reading for July, August, and September. And this will encompass, what people are worrying about, what they need to do, how they need to go about it. There's not like extreme, intricate detail with tarot. And I will let this be known right now. Energy changes all the time, and so does the energy of the collective. So what is said today, depending on how the collective is and how the collective is reacting and all that, will definitely have a impact on what happens tomorrow or next month and next year or whatever, because energy is fluid. So with that being said, I am going to ask the cards to give me information about what is the general feeling of the collective right now. So what is the general feeling of the collective right now? I'll lay down my cards. Might have to put my spectacles on. We'll see. The first card we have is the High Priestess. And that is about our intuition. The Eight of Pentacles. It's to do with money and finances. The Lovers. That's an interesting card to have pull out in this type of a reading. And the King of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The Magician. That's an interesting card too. The Three of Swords. That's an interesting card, but I will tell you more about it as we get to it. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the High Priestess is usually, she has hidden knowledge, and she also is intuitive. So what I'm seeing here is that people need to follow their intuition. A lot of people don't. They do not follow their intuition. And when you get that gut feeling, go with it. It's telling you something. It's telling you, don't go here, don't go there. Sometimes when you go on a trip and you get that feeling like, I just don't really think I should go today, follow your gut feeling. Your gut will not lie to you, okay? Also, this is the beginning of a change. The High Priestess is generally, she's holding, see how she's holding that scroll, but you can't really see what it is. She's a bringer of change. There are going to be a lot of things. There's just a lot of secrets that are not being told to people right now. So they're worrying. And what are they worrying about? They're worrying about money. And right now, I don't think you have to worry about money. The Eight of Pentacles is usually a pretty, a pretty good card as far as finances are concerned. There's a lot of people who are worried about the financial stability of their bank accounts and stuff like that. I don't think that right now we need to worry about that. Then we have the card of the Lovers. Now, in this instance, This is a partnership, okay? It's not about love or anything. This is a partnership between different, let's say, government entities. Because there's a lot going on that we do not know what's going on. We don't know who's doing what and who's holding whose hand. So this is a really interesting, this is an interesting card here. But then we have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, I would say, would represent like the current people who are, quote unquote, in charge of money matters. I think that there's going to be some new things that are going to come about. I think that people are worrying too much about the things that could happen with this administration. And it's not just here in the United States. It's happening all over the world. But I think that people are worrying needlessly about the things, how the government is spending the money, okay? I think that things are going to be all right. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is like new ideas, new plans, new business plans. There's going to be things in the works that are going to help people to be more financially stable. There's going to, let's be honest here. There's going to be ups and downs. Nothing is going to be perfect, okay? So if you're looking for, you know, the current administration to be your Lord and Savior, don't. Because we have the Magician. The Magician is, well, he's about creative action, you know, but, and he's also, you know, he's about projects. So this makes sense that we have all these other cards ahead of this, but he's about projects and planning, but he's also about skullduggery. So, you know, that is something to be aware of. There are going to be the Three of Swords, conflicts. Not everybody is going to be happy. There are going to be people who are going to be really unhappy. And number 4 is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is not exactly a very prosperous card. It is, though, about saving money, okay? Saving money, preparing for the future, preparing for hard times. So don't worry, but be prepared. You know, there's going to be it's going to be stormy. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be stormy. But you know, with change, there's always what's the word I want to use? Challenges, and there's always conflicts. And it's not necessarily physical conflicts, but conflicts of the mind as well. You know, there are people who are going to be questioning a lot of different things that are happening. But I think that, and I think this more pertains to the United States right now than it does other places. The High Priestess she's bringing about some changes that we have been seeing. But don't worry, it's going to level out. Let me pull some clarifiers on this, you know, to just kind of ease your minds. You know, how are things going to play out? Are they going to play out for the better? Are we going to have a little bit harder time for a while? Are we going to keep on struggling? Are things going to get better? Are things going to get better towards the end of the year? So we have the Ten of Pentacles. That's a really good card. So with careful planning, you're going to be okay. The Tower. There are going to be tower moments. I have a feeling that some things are going to happen. Make sure you are planning for the future, because there may be a hiccup along the way. Make sure you have food stockpiled, you know, and water. But then we have the card, the Nine of Pentacles. So, all right, here we are with the Nine of Pentacles. there's gonna be a tower moment. So, and it may very well be the American government is going to have some issues. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to come out, okay? And a lot of people in Hollywood, look at the exposure that's going on. And now the Epstein files, they don't want to release those now and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of things that people are going to find out about people that they idol worship that are going to be upsetting. So prepare yourself for that, because it's coming. This card is very telling. This card and this card. There's going to be conflicting things going on that people aren't going to like. The best thing that I can tell you, don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. Everything I get comes from spirit. I can read people very well. I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I just kind of go with the flow. I'm like right down the middle. Because if you decide to attach yourself to a religion or a political affiliation and you stick to that hardcore because, all right, say that you didn't like Biden because you thought that he was creepy, okay? So the only reason why you didn't vote for him and you voted the other way was because you felt that he was creepy, okay? Okay, so now let's turn the tables. And let's say you didn't vote for Trump because you thought that he was an arrogant asshole. Well, he is arrogant and he does run his mouth. But you need to look at things from the outside in and see what is really going on instead of believing what is being spoon-fed to you on a daily basis. Like the news is just, just feeding you negativity and trauma and excess and stuff like that. Step away from that. Give yourself a break from the television for like a good week, and God, go outside and get in nature. Don't allow the news or other people's opinions or any of that stuff to direct your compass. Choose from your heart. We don't have perfect leaders. It's not going to happen probably in our lifetimes. But what we can do is change who we are, what we consume, and how we bring that out into our world. So we can't control the whole entire world for them, but you can control the world that you live in. Maybe you have a garden and you know that the people down the street have like 6 kids and they're struggling. Good thing to do with that is to, help them. Give them some free vegetables. Your excess. Put out a box, at the side of your driveway that says free with free vegetables on it. You can still sell some, but at the end of the day, the excess, give it away for free. You're helping your community, and that is what we need to do right now, is have a better sense of community and to help each other to be better people, and be less pulled around and led by your nose and lead with your heart, because we're coming to a place now where we need to unite and we need to stop choosing sides, because there's only one race. It's the human race, and we need to look at it like that. So with that being said, I hope that this reading has helped you and it has given you some insight about maybe what you need to do for the future so that you can it'll be easier for you. What I would do is stock up on dry goods, stock up on water, and make sure you have like some sort of a solar pack so that you can have like run your refrigerator or whatever. But don't be afraid. Fear is your enemy, and it's not going to help you any in the long run. So you do you. You know, stop watching the news. Please stop watching the news. It is just feeding you, you know, it's telling you a vision. They call it a television for a reason. So, yeah, with that being said, have a fantastic day, and I will catch up with you again soon. Blessed be.